Welcome to the Rutherford Method. I'm James Rutherford, and I love talking to inspirational people from all walks of life. From athletes to stay-at-home mothers, everyone has a story to tell. Rob James, third Dan Kyokushin black belt, creator, owner of Rammfitt, which is a pretty boutique specialised clothing label at the moment, but we'll get onto that and other things. How are you, good sir?
Yeah, good. Self?
Good. Thanks for doing this. It's been
easy.
A long time in the making.
Yeah, been putting it off a while, but things got in the way, as life does, but it's all good.
Firstly, your background. We'll start from a personal background. Where did you grow up? What have you come from? Tell us about you.
Right, so I grew up in a place, I was born in Cairns. I grew up in a place called Inverell, which is northern New South Wales. People always ask, and I just tell them Tamworth.
Okay.
It's like 2 hours, I think it's south of Tamworth.
Yes.
Yeah, just a normal working class sort of family. I've got, my father's not my biological father, but but you know, he's my father. He's all I've ever known, and I've got a brother, two sisters. Yeah, we just grew up in a normal family. Got up to mischief, you know, had fights, just a normal, you know, I strayed off the path here and there, you know, being a good kid. I was a bad kid and a good kid, just normal, normal life.
When did you stumble across martial arts?
I remember, and I think I might have told you this sort of privately, but I remember I went to a friend of mine who I went to school with, obviously, and he always told me about this guy that lived across the road who was this badass.
A mysterious guy.
Yeah, he was like, I won't tell you what he gets up to, but he was a badass.
Yep.
And he used to sort of do his thing, and people would come along and buy product from him, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And he just used to punch people through the doors, kick people. It was, and my mate and I used to sit there and watch him. People would rock up and we'd like Adam would say, "Oh, check this guy out," you know, and we'd watch. So he was the instructor of the local Taekwondo club, basically.
Right. Okay.
And I just thought this guy's like a little nugget.
Yes.
And back then, I was taller than everyone in my year at school.
Right.
So it wasn't the short thing that sort of got me.
Yes.
It was the fact he was just fearless.
Yes.
And that just drew me in straight away.
Yeah, okay.
So we went, I went along. Adam was already training with him. So we went along and, it was...
Did you have any exposure to it, like through TV, movies and shit?
Yeah, just like everyone else, so that you grow up watching Kung Fu and Bruce Lee and
Van Damme and shit like that.
Yeah, all that stuff. I was guilty of that. I remember running out the backyard and doing flying, jumping kicks. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yep.
And I think back in the day, if I had a phone, I would have, filmed it
on YouTube now.
But I didn't. It was just went out there and make sure no one's looking. But so we went along to his class, and it was amazing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was just a tough. Looking back, I don't know if he was technically brilliant. I'm not, but what he did he smashed you.
Yep.
Whether it was in the dojo or out in the street, it's just worked.
Yeah, okay.
And so went along, and I was hooked, and I got a brown belt. It was the AFTA Taekwondo, which it's run by. It's still around, I think. Okay. There were some big names that are kind of, when I say big names that are, if you're old school martial arts in the Australian scene, you'll know who they are. So
yes.
They were legitimate people.
What age did you train up till Taekwondo with?
I think it was about 16.
Okay.
Maybe 15 or 16, because then after that, a guy came to Inverell who was a karate guy, complete fraud, and I don't care. I'll just, he was. Yeah. Ripped a lot of people off, but he graded me through to Shodan. Okay. And it turned out that the style was Shotokan. It's a very, very long, complicated story.
We've got time, mate.
Yeah,
that's all good.
So basically, to cut a long story short, I ended up getting in touch with Howard Lippman. Yes. Then, then it just went from there, and I ended up doing, travelling to Sydney quite often, training with Howard and going through the ranks, just sort of, just that's basically how it went. Yep. And then didn't look back.
What did you, and you're probably in a very good position to comment on this, taking your skills from Taekwondo and applying it to karate, what has worked, what hasn't worked?
I always say this to people, it's like apples and oranges. Yes. Because I've had people over the years who want to show me videos of their kids doing I think they call them pumse.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
And can I comment on it? And they're kind of like in the opposition's
Yes.
dojo.
Yep.
It doesn't bother me, but they're my friends coming to me with, what do you think of this? And I go, I can't comment.
Yep.
Because in your dojo, or your dojang, I think it's called in Taekwondo, that's what you do.
Yes.
And, I've never, really, because you can get good Taekwondo guys, you can get bad.
Yes.
It's same with Kyokushin, you can get bad and good and all that sort of stuff. So,
Yep.
But I'd have to say that Taekwondo comes from karate anyway.
Yes.
So the theory would still work.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I think it always cops a bit of flack because, and it seems to have happened ever since it became an Olympic sport, Taekwondo has suddenly gone to a complete points-based system.
Yeah.
Which is a shame the art's been watered down like that, because there is a lot of techniques in it that are incredible and very powerful, and it can end a fight in one hit.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really hard to find that old school of Taekwondo.
I don't know where, because I've never been a part of the ITF or the WTF.
Okay.
I don't know where it went wrong. Or the AFTA was a completely different thing. It was a freestyle, and that's why it worked, I guess, because they used to do things. A lot of them were bouncers anyway,
right,
in the pubs, and they were bad. They were throwing all sorts of societies out of pubs, and so they were completely freestyle, and I think political free too. They didn't want to get involved in it, which is probably why they went freestyle.
Yep.
So there's a lot of you can't really. It's hard to comment. That's what I'm trying to say. And but it's sad how it has gone like that, because they have, for some reason, whether it's their own doing or society's doing or whatever, they've gone to. It's watered down.
Very much so.
And when you go and have a look at a lot of them, and I'm just being real, I'm just being honest from my experience, that doesn't have that, guts and grit and oomph and whatever you want to call it about it.
Yes.
That's what's turned me off it. And when friends come and say, what do you think of this video of my child?
No comment.
I just go, I can't comment. Well, one, I can't. But two is, and I had my old boss actually, his son was going to Taekwondo, and for months he kept showing me this stuff. What do you think? And I'd say, I can't. One day I said, you want me to be honest? And he said, yeah. And I said, there's nothing there. There's no technique for a black belt.
Yep.
It is bad.
And it also feels notorious for the Taekwondo, seems to be the high percentage of the McDojos, the ones that are handing out those belts.
But I also think there's a lot of karate and a lot of other, I think it's all evening out now. Where,
very much so.
For whatever, maybe it's the MMA, because a lot of guys are going through their UFC that are Taekwondo and stuff. For whatever reason, it's evolving, but it seems to be more widespread. Yes. Where there are McDojos in every suburb, sort of thing. Yeah. And every style, not so much Taekwondo and hip hop.
Exactly.
It seems to be, everywhere.
Insert whatever martial art here. Yeah. So after you've branched out into karate, you've gotten to your Kyokushin, where have you gone from there? So you're training in Sydney. How did you get up to Brisbane?
I opened a dojo in Inverell under Howard, and operated that for a while. Then life gets in the way, so I had to travel to Armidale for work, which didn't end up finding work. I think very casually I worked in the New England Hotel, I think it was called. Okay. So I was pouring beers. Yep. And maybe once or twice during the week, and then Friday nights I was actually working on the door. But thank God, there was no major drama or anything. Yep. So I never had a chance to really test the skills, but I did. Worked on the door. For a while, and then came to Brisbane. So a mate, asked me to move in with him. I come up, and the rest is history. But then I just kept, because I couldn't. At the time, I was young and silly and next to no confidence. Looking back, I thought, I can't do that. I can't operate something, and so I tried finding other things. Okay. So that's where boxing came in.
So in terms of you coming to a new place, you don't have the confidence to open up your own dojo?
I was way out of my comfort zone in a city. I'm a country boy.
So how old were you when you moved to Brisbane?
It was Christmas 94, so I think it was 25, something like that. 24? Yep. Maybe even earlier,
Yeah, right.
So, and then I did boxing. I did another art called Seiyushin Karate, which was operated by a Kyokushin Uchideshi. Okay. Did that. Went to another Kyokushin in Brisbane, and then I just went, you know what, this ain't working. It's not. There's something missing.
Yes.
So yeah, back and went on the path again.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened in between life and but yeah, it was always knew it was Howard. Always knew it was Kima. Always knew, because I've been exposed to a lot of teachers.
Yes.
It always made sense that Howard was, and Kima and Kyokushin was the way.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and even when I was training other Kyokushin, it was always no.
Something missing.
Something's missing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it was. So that's been the journey.
What was the longest gap you've had when you haven't been training?
Maybe in anything, you mean? Or Kyokushin?
After you'd done martial arts and then you'd stopped for whatever period of time?
Probably maybe 4 years.
Yeah, okay.
I can't... See, it is honestly a blur.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's happened.
I noticed for me, when I haven't been doing it, it's like there is a void in your life. There is something missing.
Absolutely.
And every martial artist I've spoken to, even in your dojo, ones that have come back, they're like, yeah, it was just something was missing.
Yeah, but I used to practice a lot too. For some strange reason, I never
went cold turkey and stopped.
Yeah, I did a lot of practice. Yeah, and I think that's also been a blessing because I've never forgotten it.
Completely forgotten stuff.
And then, you know, it just made a lot of sense to just keep doing it. Maybe it was the universe. The way it works, you know, they just make you do that, and I just kept training. And why?
No idea. You come back to it eventually. Yeah, exactly.
So it's sort of full circle.
All right, the question you're dreading: personal strengths and weaknesses.
All right, I reckon personal strengths. It's a good one. I don't give up.
Okay.
Like I don't give up on people.
Yes.
Unless they absolutely do something bad, and I'm renowned for that. For going, you're gone.
Yep.
You know, and it's when this gets, you know, my heart hurts. I'm done. You know, but you can rip me off. You can do this. I'll still just think that was a bad mistake. I'll forgive you. So, you know, I don't give up on people. I don't give up on things, projects.
Yes. Which I guess can come into a weakness as well, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about that earlier because it does lead to a weakness but I've learned to control that.
Okay.
Which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, my strength is I don't give up on people, ideas, things. I see them through most of the time. You know, I am guilty of trying something here and there and going, no, it's not for me. Because I know it's not for me.
But that's not a bad thing. If you know genuinely something isn't for you, it's not going to work.
Yeah, like water skiing. I gave that a go. Yeah, and I could not get up out of the water. Yeah. I could not relax and let the boat do the work as they kept yelling at me for an hour, and I was exhausted. Yeah. And I do remember coming up onto the bank of this dam, and my mum was there, and she said, something like, Robbie's given up. But it was like, because I don't give up. Yes. It was noticeable. Yeah. The people who knew me well knew that I'd given up. Yeah. So there's things, I do try. Yeah. And I go, no, I'll give it a go. Yeah. But it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the universe again telling me it's not for me. But so strength, I don't give up. I trust easily. Yes. Because, you know, I don't know you. So if you tell me, because I'm a pretty straight up sort of guy, so if you tell me you're a millionaire, I'll just go, you're a millionaire. Yeah. Most of the time I can read you fairly well. Yes. Not always right. 99.9% of the time I am. But I trust. You know, he's a millionaire. I've got no reason. I've never met the guy before. Yeah. Who knows? You don't judge a book by its cover. Yes. Everyone's got a story. So, I don't give up. I trust. God, what else? That's pretty much it. I don't give up. Is probably my only talent.
It's funny because I'm getting ahead of myself now because there's another question down here which leads into it, but it reinforces to what I was going to say about your teaching style, and that directly relates to you not giving up on people, and you take that extra time to explain things, especially to the kids, break down those techniques into their terms where their little brains can go, oh yeah, okay, that's how it works. Or
we're all capable of great things.
Absolutely,
everybody. Yeah. And I've been in dark places where I could have went this way or that way.
Yeah, or fucking I don't give up. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
But we're all capable of, you know. And if you never ever achieve something great, but you try, your life is fun and full.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you make it irrelevant, it's all, you know. with the apparel thing, I get a little wins here and there, and it's like it makes my year. It
Oh,
seriously
yeah.
makes my year. Like when I learned how to podcast and speak into a microphone and not be too shy about it. I was still a little bit shy, but it was a win, and I was like, yeah, that made my year.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I don't give up on things or people very often.
That's a really commendable trait.
But my weakness is also I trust.
Double-edged sword, isn't it?
Because and that's just, I guess that's me trying to stay just open and real. I think this is actually a good question because I don't study myself.
And you don't ask yourself these questions.
Yeah. So I think it's me. I'm just trying to be, I guess, keep a little bit of innocence, maybe.
Yes.
Because I am. People that know me really well do know that I'm naive to a point.
Yep.
That's because I'm trusting.
Yes.
But when I find out the truth, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, type of thing.
Yeah, I'll come after you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a weakness. That trusting thing can be a weakness, but I don't see it as one. I learn.
Yeah.
And I think another strength of mine is too, now I think about it, I don't tie my happiness to money or possessions.
Yes.
I like nice things. Even if I have no money, I try and walk out of the house with clean, washed clothes.
Yes.
So
you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't tie my happiness to money. So when I've lost a lot of money.
Yep.
And I've had bad investments, I've had bad things happen, but I've been able to just let it go. Why? I don't know, but that's another strength. I don't tie my happiness to having a house or it's not. They're nice. I love having homes.
Yeah.
And I want another one.
Yeah.
But I don't tie my happiness to it.
Yeah, it's not who Rob James is.
Yeah. And I think that helps me as a person is to be like that, because otherwise, man, I get those dark thoughts that go, God, for a lot of years I was renting and wandering and you know,
or how much fucking money have I lost on this?
Yeah, geez, I've pissed out the wall. Yeah, $1,000, whatever it was.
But have you always been that way, or has that developed as those shitty circumstances have taken place? You've thought, okay, well, I can either go down path A or path B.
This might sound funny, but I actually, mean this. I think it's my heritage.
Okay,
that Maori Kiwi thing where it's
water off a duck's back. Yeah,
and you can, it's a simple life that I like, and I believe that it's from. Yeah, I think that it comes from it's inside me to be like that.
Genetic.
Just let it go.
And as well,
I'm happy.
That strength of yours where you're very trusting. Yep. Do you think that's the same thing? Has that always been in your character, or is that something that's developed over time?
No, it's always been.
Yeah, okay.
I can remember being like that as a kid, teenager, early 20s, all the way through, which has got me into trouble, and it's got me out of trouble. It is who I am.
Yeah. But see, I believe being upfront and honest, regardless if it gets you in trouble, is always better than the opposite of perhaps the white lies that'll always come out in months, years' time, and then you get found out you're a fucking idiot. Yeah.
So, it's weakness and a strength, whatever you want to call it. But
you're very passionate for martial arts. What drives that passion?
I think there's a lot of things. One, I've always, even as a kid, loved the Oriental Japanese warrior thing.
Yes.
And I grew up through, my teens. I wanted to be a helicopter pilot. As soon as right up to the day I finished school, went, no, I'm going to party. so it's that whole military martial arts thing has been fascinating to me.
Yes.
So that got me into it. But what drives it now would be, I still feel like that. I love that. If I hadn't, another life, I'd love to be a SEAL or a commando or something.
Yes, yeah, we've had this discussion before,
But I think I probably, it probably sounds funny, live that way of life through my martial arts, because Kyokushin is very similar. You've got to be disciplined. The training's hard.
Yep.
There's no sympathy. You work. If you fail, people still don't care. You still got to.
Yeah, it is very, very militaristic in design.
Yeah, and it's very rigid. There's no room for that emotion, and which sometimes when you're going through a hard patch or something, or a hard training session, I've been to training sessions and my knees given way, and you sort of bow out a little bit and go on my knee, and not that you want sympathy, but you sort of go, shit, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just got to get back up and try and do something. But it's like you look for sympathy, but you'd certainly notice when nobody says, "Oh, geez, your leg all right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people don't care.
Exactly.
And that's a good thing, I think, is because it prepares you for life where people don't care.
The real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, so work harder, you know.
And as you've brought it up a number of times in training, especially the kids, you'd rather see them turn up with their fucking arm taped to their chest than sit out. Yeah. And I keep telling my kids that. And it's more of a mental thing as well, because if you see someone who's got the resilience to turn up, regardless of a broken leg, broken face, if they're still there, even if they can't perform at 100%, it's showing you, okay, this guy's still keen to train. He's
even
still
if you've
here.
got the flu, or you can't walk, you're on crutches or a wheelchair, come and sit and watch.
Yeah.
Because you learn. You do learn something.
Yeah, rather than just do the completely, I'll go next week.
Yeah, because then discipline goes.
Yes.
You start getting that mindset, we don't have to.
Yeah, so your fucking dog gets out.
But, you know, it's, where we go with that. So, yeah, it's that whole military mindset of training still drives me. I love it. And as I said to you before, I love it when, you know, Rick and Howard get pissed off because things aren't going right, because their face turns red, and I think, this is awesome. Now we're going... Because then they start... hope they don't listen to this, but then they start... It becomes old school Kyokushin.
Yes.
And that's where I thrive. I don't thrive in a soft, you know, environment.
Which we'll jump to that question now, Rolf.
Yeah, right.
There's a delicate balance these days of that hardline, traditional, whatever martial art you want, as opposed to people who are doing it as a hobby, and as we've mentioned before, those insurance, all that shit you've got to cover your ass for. How do you balance that happy medium of sort of trying to cater to every person that walks within your dojo? You've got to be sort of, I guess, intuitive enough and switched on enough to identify, okay, you know, James and his family, they're here to learn.
And you're right.
This guy's probably here just for an after school sort of thing. Yeah, this guy wants to do tournaments.
Yeah, running a dojo, probably the best thing I ever did in Brisbane, because of the amount of people that have been through the doors. I've learnt to read people a bit better as well, even though I kind of had I've got a pretty good intuition. I think it comes from the heritage.
Yes.
But I've learnt to read people fairly well. And yeah, you do read people coming through the door. Not always right, but pretty good indication, first impressions. So, yeah, and you just... Sometimes, and I get this from Howard, you've got to forget that sometimes, because as people walk through, you don't like them. You can go straight up, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And it's happened, you know. But we all change.
Yeah, and
I've changed.
You don't have to like them either.
But I like, you know, I just...
No, but you know what I'm getting? As an instructor, or, I mean, it makes it a lot fucking harder if you're trying to train someone you don't like, and vice versa, they don't particularly like you. You just clash. But
the funny thing is, if I don't like them and they come in, something in my head, I get out of my own way and let them come in and start.
Yes.
And I go, there's something I don't like, but I'm gonna just let it go and get out of my own way and teach you. And every time I end up going, they're actually real people.
Yes. Or you can...
And they've got a problem. They've got
have enough reflection to go, hang on, there could be something I don't like about myself.
Correct.
Or, yeah.
So
what's going on?
And people have said in the past, you know, get rid of him or get rid of him, whatever it is. And you can't. I can't do that as a human. You have to give people a chance.
Yes.
And it takes time. Sometimes people just get it the first night. Sometimes, and it's more often than not, sometimes people take ages and years to... There was a guy, and we're good friends, Paul. He was one. He was a hard nut to crack, and I've always told him that. He came through. Just kept letting him go, you know. And then one night, I think it was the night before he left to go to his new job, I told him something. He said, "Why didn't you tell me that from the start?" And I said, "I have. You just don't listen." It's like that. It takes time.
So you don't have any kids, but you know what it's like to be an adult. You know what it's like to be a parent.
Yeah. So you just got to let people come in. Like I said, I've changed.
Yep.
It was a choice inside of me that said, you've got to change. You've got to be a better person. And I've always been into evolving as a person. So I can do it. And I'm just a knucklehead from, the bush. I'm sure someone else can do it. So I always give someone a chance who comes through my door.
Yeah, okay.
And millions of chances. It's not just a one chance.
Yes.
It's just who we are.
Yeah.
And I get that from... I talk a lot with Hanshy about that, about things, about, that's what one of his jobs is to mentor us.
Yes.
So I might, get in touch with him and say, this problem, and he always says the right thing that I knew in my head anyway, and I go, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, often you just need to hear it from someone else, don't you? Yeah.
And you think, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, so just keep going.
With the amount of information that's out there on the internet these days, let's say you get a new parent turn up who wants to enrol little Johnny into Kyokushin, surely they know what they're getting themselves in for if they've had a quick Google of
No, I honestly
Kyokushin karate.
don't. You'd think so, but I honestly don't.
Not the case?
No. You mean like they know what Kyokushin's about? The hard... Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like being it is the strongest form of karate in the world.
Yeah.
And
No, I don't think they do. I think from research I've done, marketing-wise, which is very limited, and again, I'm a chump when it comes to all this stuff, but people mostly just go to what's the closest.
okay.
They will only go what's up the road.
Yeah.
Or the closest one. They don't care what it is. They don't care whether it's boxing is different. But if it's a martial art they're looking for, they'll generally go to the closest one.
Yeah, okay.
And that's kind of sad in a way because it's not always the best one.
Yes.
It's the convenient, comfortable one.
Yes.
I
get what... Do you reckon that just comes down to the good old Western society? I want it now. I want it quick.
Maybe.
Let's just go.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it's the only one. It's the one up the road. It's the only one. Okay, it's a 5-minute walk.
But if you put it on the flip side, for example, if you've got family who are heavily involved into AFL or rugby,
Yep.
they generally won't go to the first club.
No, they're very picky.
Yes, they'll look around.
So if it's a
they'll
soccer
search.
club and the young fella's not getting what he should get out of a coach, they'll take him somewhere else.
Yes.
I've known heaps of people that do that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And you should do that. I believe you should do that.
Yeah. I think it's one of those cases, though, it's what you know, because obviously I did karate as a kid, and that's probably why I dragged my family back to it, because I was specifically looking for Kyokushin.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas not just...
I'm glad you guys came in. But you know what's funny? You probably drive past 25 dojos.
Oh, no doubt.
Before you get to mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Every night.
Yeah. It's just funny.
It's great, humbling, and it's. I love you guys. Like I said, you guys are talented and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you're one of the few people. That's why you probably don't maybe understand what I'm saying. People will just go to the first one. Bang.
Very much so.
I do karate, taekwondo.
Yeah, what's on the corner?
Yeah.
We'll go there.
Yeah. And they just go through the motions, as Xian Rick puts it. They just turn up and they think they're progressing and getting better. Maybe they are. I'm not saying that it's all like this, but it's a typical case. They rock up to the closest one. Oh, I mightn't like him, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
And I'm not... It doesn't make any sense, I'm not progressing.
Yeah.
But it's okay, I'll stay here because it says it's karate and it's comfortable.
Yeah. Comfortable
Or it's
karate.
Kung fu,
Someone trademark that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What, in your opinion, makes... You've seen and trained under quite a few different teachers in your time. What makes a good one? Or actually, no, what makes a great teacher, in your opinion?
Good question. I think somebody, first of all, at the end of the day, we're operating a dojo or a martial arts club or a gym, whatever you want to call it. We're just people as well.
Yes.
And I think the teacher has to realise that in the dojo, yes, it's got to be run the way that karate is run or whatever art you're doing. But at the end of the day, we're just people.
Yes.
When I step out of the dojo, I'm a painter, I'm a whatever.
Yep.
I also happen to teach karate. That guy might be a car salesman. He's done Muay Thai before. We're people.
Yeah.
So I think if you have an attitude of I'm the king of the castle, bad. In my opinion, I think it's bad, and I move away from people like that.
Yes.
In the dojo, fine, because that's what we're there for. So yeah, the ability to just come down to people's level and understand they're struggling with the technique or they're struggling with things in life or just being able to relate. I don't think you should ever lose that, no matter how... I'm not a higher grade, so I don't know what it's going to be like to get up there, but I'm very conscious of not losing that. That's why I spend every night in the dojo.
Yes.
I could have built people up by now and I could be taking nights off, but I don't do that. I roll up my sleeves and I want to be there.
Yes.
And I interact with people and teach and feel the pain of their pain.
Yes.
And you understand it. So, yeah, being at their level, humble, I guess. Try to be humble. It doesn't matter whether you're, and this comes back, I guess, if you're an Australian champion or a world champion, it doesn't really mean a great deal to me anyway, because I think what was the standard of competition like? How many people were in there?
Yep.
You know,
yep.
You got to read. So if someone says I'm a world champion, I just go, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Let's do karate. Can you teach me?
Yes.
It doesn't mean a lot to me personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be humble because it doesn't matter.
Yes.
We're just humans. We all die. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. We're all getting out one way, aren't we?
Yeah. So what else makes a great teacher? I think you have, if you can't do them, I'm not the most flexible guy out there. So let's do a side kick, for example. I can't kick up 8 feet in the air.
Yes.
But I can kick up probably 5 or 6 foot.
Yes.
I can raise my leg to the front fairly high, but not to the side. I've just never been a stretcher. You know,
Yes.
I've tried and I do occasionally. So I think being able to, if you can't demonstrate it brilliantly, you need to be able to demonstrate it at some degree and
Yes.
know the steps involved to
Technical understanding of
yeah.
it, yeah.
And that's where Howard Hanshy comes back. He's just understands
An
every
absolute
single
wizard.
detail
Yeah.
of every technique.
Yeah.
And as I said, yeah, I think that also makes a great teacher. What else? Yeah, just being able to help people. I think you've got to be available. I've been going through a lot at the moment, so I haven't been as available as I need to be. But you know, if people have an issue, you got to be there for them, and
Yes.
sometimes help them through a marriage breakup, breakdown,
Yes.
a job loss.
It's a very interesting role because it's very similar to a personal trainer in that regard. Sometimes you might be training a client and they've had a marriage breakup, shitty day at work, and you take your PT hat off, put on a counselling hat,
Yep.
and just talk to them. It's very
Yeah.
similar with the martial arts instructor, which once again can come with its own set of complications because it can become very culty.
Yeah.
I haven't had anything to do with it firsthand, but I know there have been schools where every fucking weekend they're over at the instructor's house, or they're all like a little niche group, and it's just, that's toxic. Like,
Yeah.
you know, then maybe the instructor starts banging one of the students or something.
Yeah,
You're just
and
like,
it-
oh my God.
It can happen, and I think it comes down to a balance
Yes.
where
And as corny as it sounds, you want that old school samurai nobility.
yeah,
You know,
it doesn't sit
to
well
be-
with me, but yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. What would you call it?
Well, it is what you're calling it, but if someone said,
Oh, Rob, you're a noble. Fuck
"Oh,
off.
okay, fuck off," you know, but yeah, I guess you are trying to be.
Yes.
Maybe it comes back to a martial artist. There's a lot of people that think they are, but it means a lot. It doesn't just mean the ability to teach you how to fight.
And kick and punch, yeah.
It goes much, much deeper than that,
Yes.
and very few have it
Yes.
because, it's just the way it is. There's a lot to it. You've got to be on the phone. You've got to be kind of a counsellor. I'm
Yes.
sure Hanshy, he's counselled every single one of us.
Yeah.
He has. And, you know, we wouldn't be the people we would be without him.
Exactly.
So you kind of got to do the same thing back, I guess. And
we haven't even touched on I guess it is an emotional investment you have in straight from that white belt, building them up through the ranks. And I guess the best case is Jermaine. You've brought him up from white to his first dan.
It's amazing. He was the first guy that walked through the dojo, and he's
there
still
you go.
here.
Yeah.
When I opened, it's amazing. But everyone that quits, it's my doing.
You hit yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not. If it was boredom, they don't like me, whatever it is, it's my fault. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame him, them, her. It's my doing.
Okay.
So I feel every one of them that leave.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me, I won't lie, there's a part of me that goes, oh, he's a fuckwit anyway. Or, you know. But it's still, yes, yeah, I do that alone. I might sit at my desk somewhere and go, I'm fucking glad he's gone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's my doing. I could have done more to help them be a better person.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's deep.
Yeah.
You can't save them all.
No, I know, but I feel them.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas some people go, oh, fuck it,
Yeah.
don't worry about him.
Yeah.
I don't act like that. I go the opposite. I just think, I don't ring them and chase them,
Yeah.
but it's
But you
my
certainly
fault they're
reflect.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it was their fault, it's still my fault that they're gone,
Yeah, okay.
because it's just the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It helps me improve too.
That's what I was going to ask. How do you then apply those principles, learning lessons, whatever's happened, and apply them? Well, obviously, it's circumstance by circumstance, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm always learning in the dojo. I'm always, because as you know, I hate public speaking, and I hate performing in public.
Here we are.
Hanshi's got me at a seminar a few times. We have dinner on the Saturday night somewhere, and he'll come up privately and go, "I want you to demonstrate Seipai."
Yeah.
And I go, "What, in front of the seminar?" You know, and he's So, and I talk him out of it. It's like, I don't care what you say, I'm not doing it. That's how frightened I am of public speaking and performing in public.
Okay.
So I get...
Isn't that funny? Because again, going back to your genetics,
Yeah, right.
they generally are good performers. They don't mind singing, they don't mind getting
right.
out in front of a crowd. Yeah.
I don't like it. And I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's being very negative, I understand, but it's something... I don't like being watched. I don't like attention on me. I don't like... even with my apparel, I don't want to be known. I'm just doing it because I fucking love it.
Yes.
I love karate. I just want to love it, and I love teaching people, but don't put me there.
Yeah. The spotlight goes that way.
Yeah.
Not on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm always learning. I'm always evolving.
Yeah.
And those people that leave or give me the bird as they're walking out the door, I look at myself every time and go, what have I done wrong? How can I improve? Maybe I'm not a good enough talker to them to try and help them through a journey or a problem. Don't know. But I always try and look inside myself.
Can be super self-critical, because obviously there will be times where, no matter what you do, you can't save them all. Like, obviously, people who move away for work or whatever reasons, you can't do much for them. But ones who are like going through, and I've seen in the short time I've been there, people have come and have gone back.
Yep.
Which has obviously been, I don't know whether it's been because of you, or certainly it's got something to do because the dojo you've created that has brought them back. Yeah. That community and the culture you've got there at the dojo.
I think now that we've been going for 8 years, people know that I'm not going anywhere.
Yes.
Where people that sort of started early have probably gone, oh, I'll come, but, he's not going to beat you. They'll also blame other people for their...
Everyone does.
Yeah, but I think now, because I do get emails and messages and stuff from people that, CJ Main's got his black belt, or, you're still there, or, geez, you're at Kedron now, what's going on there? So people know that I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
And that takes time.
Yeah.
So, that's also a part of it.
What's your biggest frustration as an instructor? I've got a few points here. Balance, for me, is a big one, and finding time to train yourself. Now, obviously, this is a two-pronged question, because you're going through that vehicle accident that happened last year.
Yep.
But prior to that, were you getting enough sort of time in for your own training?
When you're an instructor, people say like you don't train, but it's actually the opposite. You're still training, because
Definitely.
Every night I'm teaching something, I'm teaching.
Yes.
So it's going through my mind, I'm training.
And if anything, doing it, explaining it while you're not physically doing it is harder.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating. That's frustrating, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that's going to pass. So, excuse me, I look at the bigger picture.
Yep.
I can see past that. But as frustrating it is, I can. But what's frustrating is where I guess you can say you need to go faster. And it's hard to, even when I was doing it able-bodied, I guess, I don't know what it is, but you can't just, people are talented. You know that anyone's got that ability to,
dig in and just bite down.
And go hard, go fast for an hour and a half. But majority of people go through the motions, and I'm guilty of it too.
Yes.
We all do it.
Yep.
That's frustrating, because I look at him and go, man, if you just give it 100% or just take it up another notch. And when people do it, I always fuck, you've just done
single
it.
them out and you've done it. Well done.
I try to, whether I do or not, but I try to go, you've fucking done it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's exactly what I want.
Except in front of the kids.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's it's frustrating when they do it. Inside I'm going,
yes, yeah,
done it. They've done it. You know, and I feel good because they've achieved something.
Yes.
Frustration as a teacher would be that the fact that you want to get, because I've been around, I know the difference between a good and a bad teacher.
Yes.
And this is a good organisation and a fantastic art.
Yes.
It's solid. It's got a lot of history, a lot of background, tried and proven. All that stuff's already taken care of. So it's frustrating that I cannot get it out there.
Yes,
One,
okay.
because to get it out there, I could build it. I could build it into a massive dojo, but it takes a lot of money.
Yes.
For that marketing expert to come in and do it, which will happen. But so it's frustrating that just simply saying, well, this is the best or this is awesome, not my dojo, but the art and the organisation is fantastic. If you want to be part of something great and that will build you up, this is it. But people go...
It's really bizarre because we've seen in the late 90s, early 2000s, MMA just went fucking ballistic, and I think it's the highest growing sport at the moment. But to think, going back to that, was bare knuckle Kyokushin tournaments since, what, the 60s?
Yeah, 60s, yes, 60s, 70s.
In Japan.
Yeah.
And they still go today, and they've got almost a massive following in Europe and Japan. I think even the European circuit's bigger than Japan at the moment.
Yeah.
But it hasn't received quite the same traction in... I certainly don't think it's picked up in the US, or it doesn't seem as big in Australia.
This is where it gets very interesting because I think... and you just... So everyone listening, or we, have to just bear with me for a sec on this. So Kyokushin, or anything that's going to be difficult, and where you're in a plain uniform, whether it's a gi, a military uniform, a school uniform, is fucking boring.
Yeah.
We're all the same. We're all doing the same thing. I get that side of it. It's boring as batshit. You would rather get up there in a shirt or a rashi that's covered in sponsors. It looks awesome.
Right, okay.
I get that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But what separates Kyokushin and the rest, I'm just being straight up my opinion, is the fact that it's hard. Nothing is given to you. It separates the men from the boys, or the, lions from the sheep, whatever you want to call that. It does. When it comes to the training, you can't fake it. If it hurts you, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
If you have a mentality of, I know it's going to keep training, you're either going to quit or you're going to keep pushing.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no in between. If you want to get anywhere in it, I've had people say karate's dead, Kyokushin's dead. It never will.
Yeah.
It'll never die because it's such a strong art. And it's not a sport. It's an art form and it's a way of life. Because if you study it and you become a teacher and you teach people and help people, it's a way of life. You live it. And I think, yes, it's hard training because it's bare knuckle fighting and it's all that stuff. And it's different to punching, even with those fingerless gloves. Mm. You watch the way that the MMA guys and UFC strike. It's not the most efficient way.
Yes.
You've got to remember Kyokushin's about efficiency.
Yeah, and you can afford to get a bit reckless when you've got gloves on because your hands are protected.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, of course those guys hit me and anyone, they'll go down like a bag of shit. But it's not the most efficient way.
Yeah.
And that's why, because to do it efficiently and you study the science of delivering a technique, it's fucking boring. Mm. And 90% of people walk away from it.
Yeah, and it doesn't look flashy.
No.
Like, let's a middle section punch, bang on the solar plexus, a fight ending technique in one hit. There's nothing fancy to look about it.
And as I always say to people, just because you're sweating, it doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
It does, and that's where a lot of people, and even high-ranking people in Kyokushin say sweat's the answer and that sweat's the secret. It's not. Your ability to listen and engage is the secret.
Yeah.
Because I can get you to kick a shield all night. But
anyone can sweat, yeah.
Yeah, if you kick a shield, the wrong way, in summertime, you're going to sweat.
Yeah.
You're going to walk away going, I worked up a sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be getting fit, but you're not learning an art.
Yes.
You're kicking a shield.
Yeah.
So the secret to training isn't sweat. If you listen and engage and then go, okay, I have to, these 3 or 4 steps that I've been shown, I have to put into a technique. My body won't allow me to do it, but that's my problem. I have to work on that.
Yep.
And deliver a straight punch or a kick, to deliver a kick, for example, where your knee points, your foot goes.
Yes.
And a lot of, especially the kids, they point their knee out to the side, but they're trying to kick you in the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll bust their knee like that.
Yep.
So, it comes down to, it's hard. It's a hard art. It's a hard art form. It's a hard way of life, but there's many, many rewards that aren't financial.
Yes.
And that's why I think I have a lot of sort of inner peace, because it's not financial. It's the reward of evolving and being a better person. And I think if you're going to a dojo or a gym or an MMA studio, whatever you want to call them, oh yeah, there's heaps of people all kicking shields. There's pretty girls. There's guys in shorts with sponsors all over them. That's fantastic, but that's what's called motivation.
Yes.
And once you get over that novelty of, it's a beautiful, gym with sponsors, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just trying to say the difference between the two.
Yes.
That will die. Eventually, it will die. And those people that go there for that reason will drop off. And again, those people that are disciplined will carry on.
Yes.
The same as Kyokushin or an art like what we do. But I definitely think Kyokushin is strong for that reason, and it's not as popular as it was because there's a turn of the wheel. It's all MMA will evolve and die, not die, but it'll evolve to something different.
Yep.
BJJ's on the top now. The wheel will turn. There'll be something else. A new movie will come out. That's just the way it's always been, and it always will.
Yeah.
The Olympics is coming in. Karate can evolve and maybe be back on. Maybe, who knows? But
it has been approved for the Japan Olympics.
Yeah,
2020. So
that could boost numbers at the dojo, and then all of a sudden we're back on top.
Yeah.
You will not ever stop it. It's the turn of the wheel. It's an evolution.
Yeah.
That's how things change.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyokushin and the art, I think it's strong because of, it's proven. It's not just that way of life is 1,000 years old. An MMA, UFC tournament has been around since the 80s or whatever. It's all fresh.
Yeah.
So the way of life of Japanese Budo and, that martial history, it's deep.
Yes.
And it works. They produce warriors, they produce swordsmen, they produce judoka, karateka.
Yeah.
It's proven. You can't dispute that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll always be there.
Yeah.
As strong as it is.
It's intriguing though, isn't it, to wonder why it hasn't taken off in some areas or others it has.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's boring. But yet it's character building. And
do you think boring is the right word, or people can't see what it is? Like they just look at it and think, oh my God, those brutes are kicking shit out of each other, where there's so much more to it than that.
Sometimes I've gone to seminars and we do the same thing we did the last seminar.
Yep.
I think it's boring.
Yep.
But in actual fact, Hanshi's trying to tell us something.
Yes.
Our technique is shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he takes us all the black belts outside and say, tell me how to throw a punch, and you're trying to demonstrate and talk Hanshi through it.
Meanwhile, he's shaking his head.
Yeah, going, you're a teacher? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's why I try to stay on top of technical aspects of Kyokushin, because I have to be teaching.
Yes.
But, that's what we do.
Yeah.
The technical aspects of it you have to be able to teach.
Speaking of techniques, what are your favourite techniques, even inside, outside of Kyokushin, and what are your least favourites?
Okay. Because I'm short.
Yes.
I don't fancy high kicks. I can do a few of them. As I said before, it's not my strength. So I'm not going to be... Look, people do it. I'm not going to waste my time trying to kick a 6'4" guy in the head.
Yep.
I'm going to try and take his legs out. So Hanshi said to me years ago, I was actually probably 18 or 19, that the quickest way to... He actually said to me, I wouldn't bother. The quickest way to chop a tree down is aim for the trunk.
Yep.
And for all these years, that's the mentality I've had. And so my favourite techniques are basic. So the middle punch, because of all the applications to it.
Yes.
Weird, isn't it?
Not at
simple
all.
middle
Really?
punch. I love all the basics, and when you say basics, there's no advanced technique in karate. They're all basics done well. So, I like working on basic technique.
Mm-hmm.
My least favourite techniques would be the spinning and jumping.
Mm-hmm.
One, because I've never been athletic enough to do that sort of stuff, so that's probably why I hate it.
Yeah.
But again, there's something that said, don't bother.
Yes.
Just work on the basic stuff and...
Stay grounded.
Yeah, stay
Could
grounded.
be a genetic thing as well.
Yeah, maybe simple, less is more.
The heavy
I don't
set,
know.
let's chuck the spear sort of thing. Yeah.
Whatever works. Look, it's good to be athletic and do those things. I envy people that do it
Yes.
and think, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an,
But at the same time, I have obviously two thoughts about that. One is, yes, do it while you can.
Yep.
But the second one is, in Masayama's heyday when he was older, he was only using the basic stuff very effectively.
Yeah.
Like breaking people's bones and...
It's great for the muscle tone and, athleticism and all that sort of stuff to be able to do it and jump high. If I could, especially with my knee and my injury that I've got now, that's probably mostly gone. But it's something I never worked on anyway.
Yes.
Because I was short, I had to stay more agile and be grounded and just work on basic stuff that would, you drive a front kick into someone's face or solar plex properly.
Oh, yeah.
It'll drop them.
Done.
Especially in the head. They're going to, it's gone.
Yeah.
Lights out. But, so you don't have to be flashy for things to work. So that was my mentality. And I also believe, as Hanshi taught, you've got to learn the basics well.
Yes.
Because that's what the art is. And if you want to start doing front flips and spinning kicks and jumping around as part of what you do, then that's the road that you've gone down. You want to be that flexible and that athletic to do that and apply that to your tournament fighting. That works. That works for you. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I just believe in staying grounded,
in that
knowing your
core
basics
foundation.
well. Yeah. And then if you choose to move on and do other things, that's, as I've always encouraged people, if you want to be the greatest fighter and that's what you want to do and you hate kata, go for it. If you love technique and the bunkai behind it, you got kata. And then there's application of basic technique, which is in kata anyway. But I just believe in all the basics are my favourites.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Jermaine's grading. Talk to us about that. Jermaine, as you said, first white belt, you've watched him climb up, have his own sort of trips and falls and stumbles across the way. We all do. Training shit, I'm not going to do this. I quit.
Seen it all.
Fed up.
And to be fair, I've gone, oh, geez, he's having a hard time and I'm starting to struggle because, we've both had enough of each other too.
You feed off each other. Yeah. How have you seen him grow, mature as a person over all these years?
I think it's obviously been a gradual thing.
Yes.
But the thing I like about Jermaine, and you've got to be able to be coachable.
Yes.
You can have the greatest coach in the world, but if you're a shithead, you're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
So Jermaine has done this himself because of his character, and he's been coachable, and he's listened. And even in nights where he's yawned and that, and he's had enough of it, and he's had a big day at work, he still listens.
Yep.
And so it's been a good relationship there. It's been great that he's been that sort of person. I've watched him grow. I think because I'm there twice a week watching him for 8 years, I see the difference, but you don't see it. I mean, every time we go away, it's people
who comment and
go, wow, shit, he is a brown belt standard for Kima, and you go, okay, yeah,
I see him every week.
Yeah.
Good.
But it's a nice thing, and
yes,
it's not a nice thing for me. I just think the times that I've been frustrated and think, oh, he's almost there, and that he's been frustrated and said, I'm almost there. It's kind of nice to go. He was actually there a long time ago.
He was there,
before I realised it.
Yeah,
where I'm pushing him, going, come on, and he's trying. He was actually there. He's actually achieved something and got through it, and his technique's pretty good.
Yep.
And
this happens in quite a few different martial arts. It's a bit of a phenomenon where people get their first dan, then they get bored very quickly if they're thrown up the front, and they go from this 100% training to suddenly they're teaching, and nothing's prepared them for it. And they're like, oh shit.
Some people hate it.
Okay, yeah. how do you combat that? We use Jermaine as an example, so he doesn't get bored shitless and, okay, I'm 12 months in, I'll see you later.
Well, that's when I say, and I've said this to Jermaine, you've got to branch out on his own. He's got to make karate his own.
Yes.
So whether it's a tournament, he might want to be the greatest bunkai guy in the world.
Yes.
So he needs to find out now where, and I've said this to him, that he needs to find out where his passion...
What direction he wants to go.
Yeah, where his passion lies. It might be Kobudo, it might be tournaments, it might be teaching. Because you're not going to be the most amazing martial artist in every aspect. It's nice to think that we can try and be there.
Yes.
And some of us might think that we are that type of person. But it's better to be a specialist than a generalist. Do you know what I'm saying? You're better,
I do, yes.
You're better off being, okay, I'm going to be a tournament fighter and I'm going to put that effort in.
Yep.
I've got the foundation of karate. I know what I'm doing. I can teach it if I have to. But now I have to specialise in... You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to go, okay, focus on something that if you like fighting, go for it. But before black belt, I don't give you that option because you haven't polished, you haven't got the core foundation. You don't know what technique is because you can't do it.
Yeah.
So you have to learn what it is.
Yeah.
Then when you get to that certain level where you're proficient at it and a beginner, then start focusing on things that you really want to pursue.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I believe. You've got to be looking at, and that's what keeps you hungry for the next.
Yes.
If you just keep going and turning up, training twice a week and doing the same, that's when you will get bored. Yeah. So I encourage people, when you're getting around brown and definitely black, you should know what is of interest to you. Yeah. And you should, if you're not already, you should be starting to think about going down that avenue.
Similar like being at school, isn't it? What do you want to do for a job?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, I've got no idea.
But it's better than, I think, if you're a third dan, 2/5 of fuck all about everything. Yes. Yeah. At least I can draw on Jermaine and go, okay, Jermaine, he's a Kobudo. Yes. He's got a strength in Kobudo. So one, that's what he does. So I can also use that in the dojo and say, well, I know fuck all about it, but Jermaine's fantastic at it, so come in. Yeah. You know what I mean? We can work together that way. Yeah. But for his benefit, it's better. It's better that, because I've generalised as a teacher because you have to. You have to know most things about most things. Yeah. If I don't, I go to seminars. That's why we do that. We ask Hanshi, but that's my job. That's where I've evolved, and I want to be a teacher. Yep. And give back, and just, it's probably that nurturing side of me. Who knows? But that's where I've gone. I want to be a teacher. Yep. Some people hate it, so they want to be a fighter. Some people hate it and they won't even want to leave the dojo and go and do something else. Go down. Yeah. Just branch out. I don't know everything, so branch out and go and learn from seminars. Go and learn other things. Learn to be a fighter. Learn to be a better fighter. Yep. I can take you so far, and then it's up to you now to make it your own. Yep. So I guess like a child, you're raising a child, and then you put him out into society. Yeah. And they've got to learn, don't they? Yep. So
sitting there with bated breath, I've done the right thing.
Shit, yeah.
Your personal circumstances, as I touched on mid last year, early last year, you had that motor vehicle accident. Yep. That absolute shitty circumstances injured your lower back. Mm-hmm. You've had a lot of time to reflect, and you sort of don't have that physical outlet now through training. How have you sort of mentally coped, struggled, prepared, consistently kept?
That's easy.
Yeah?
The bigger picture.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that's another strength, going back to at the beginning. I always look at the bigger picture.
So you've got that foresight to be able to say, yeah, okay, let's...
Yeah, it's frustrating, and there's at times I deal, I'm going to say this, with absolute fuckwits that work in these kind of organisations, insurance companies. Dealing with them has been frustrating, and at times I've yelled. I won't go into it. Yeah. There's been some hard days, but what gets me through them is I wake up in the morning, go, it's a brand new day, look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, okay.
And so, you've got to look at the bigger picture and think, well, for one, I'm not a quadriplegic. The truck hit me, but I'm walking. Yep. I'm able to teach. I'm still able to turn up. Yep. So if hypothetically, if this is as bad as it gets and I can't train again, at least I can still help you guys to get
And you're still
where you
walking.
need to go, and I can still teach, and I can still be a part of KEMA, and I don't care about gradings. I don't care, but I love it.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm still able to do it, and I just look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I might not be able to do a high front kick again. We'll see about that, but if
really,
that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah.
And go and cut my own throat because I can't do something. It's you got to think of outside the bigger picture and what you can do, not what you've lost.
Yes.
So,
your own training before the accident, or even when you're a young lad, like you're obviously a bit of a solid lad, which comes from the genetics as well.
Yep.
Did you spend much time in the gym?
Yeah, I did. I've been the gym. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's something that hasn't been a passion.
Yes.
So I've gone and I've sort of toned up, and then I've gone, oh look, KFC. So, food's my downfall, you know, and it always has been, always genetics maybe.
Yeah.
So, I've been there, and I've been trim, and it's funny. I always look back. I've got a photo on my computer that every now and then, when I worry about my weight at the moment, I sort of look at that picture and go, I can get back there, you know. So it's again, I don't let it worry me too much.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
Yeah. But the training wise, I've gone to the gym on and off. I think because karate involves, and even when you're doing, a very basic technique, which they all are, but you're still working a lot of muscle groups anyway.
Absolutely.
And if you train, goes back to what you said earlier, you go through the motions, you're not going to improve muscle tone and fitness.
Yes.
But if you actually train properly and deliver the technique correctly, you will work a lot of muscle groups.
Yes.
And you will get a workout.
Yeah.
No, it won't build Arnold Schwarzenegger type muscle tone.
Yeah.
But it will make you strong.
But at the same time, how many Arnold Schwarzeneggers have you seen doing karate?
Exactly right.
They don't exist.
Yeah. And also the way you get hit, because it's bare knuckle, it makes your body stronger.
Yes.
So...
And it's interesting because I've had this conversation with my kids, if they're doing a simple technique, like any upper body technique, if you want to make it more difficult, jump down into a Zenkutsu Dachi and hold it.
Yeah.
Or whatever stance you want.
Or go faster.
Yes, and suddenly you're adding that other dynamic to your lower body where, I've got to brace my whole core. And
which is the reason for those low stances. One of.
Yeah.
It helps you, if you're moving through at that level, it's building muscle tone.
Yes.
Improving.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, there's lots of ways you can train, and it doesn't have to be weights. But I'm guilty as anybody else. I like to go to the gym, and I was, there were pretty girls there and that sort of stuff. So I went there for that reason too.
Yeah,
and but it just wasn't a passion of mine.
Yeah,
I just liked that, as I said before, military martial arts way of life.
Yes,
that's been it.
Personal hobbies. So what do you do when there are those brief moments where you're not thinking about martial arts or the clothing label, which we'll get to?
Yeah, good. Okay.
Because I firmly believe, and the more martial artists I've met in life, even this can be said for some military guys I served with, they always have a passion outside of their day-to-day, who they are.
Mm.
And... yeah, for me, as you know, it's tabletop wargaming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking massive nerd, and I'm the first one to put my hand up and tell anyone this. But I knew a guy in the army, he was obsessed with rose farming. Loved rose farming.
Is it funny that some of the hobbies that people
fucking
have...
hardest man like I've ever met.
He loves roses.
Yeah, yeah. And going back to ancient Japan, where the samurai would be poets and brilliant at calligraphy and things like this as well, they were very adept at something else. And so I firmly believe, and even from a psychological point of view and mental health, if you don't have something outside of work and outside of family just for you where you can completely disconnect from life and go and be someone else in that little world or whatever it is you do, I think that's super important these days.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. You've got to have something to take you away.
Yeah. So what is yours?
Well, over the years it's been... mountain biking and kayaking.
Yep.
What else? Probably just anything to do with the water. Like I loved going... I don't do it much even before the accident. I hate being in the sun now, so that's probably a
Yes.
big thing. But yeah, it was always anything to do with it. I love being out and about at the beach, the water, kayaking. When I went mountain biking, it was always around the water.
Yeah.
It was just time to zone out and just, especially kayaking, because you're out on the bay there with, at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning at dawn, and there's no one around.
Yeah.
No noise, nothing.
Yeah.
But just anything that gave me solitude,
Yes.
where I could, just be alone.
Just be at one with the world.
That's interesting. I've just realised something. So, but yeah, pretty much that's pretty much been it.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always been a bit of a loner.
Yes.
So that's that. Yeah, things that I could do on my own where I've put up with people's shit or someone going, "Oh, can we go home now?" Or
yes,
things like that. I just
isn't it funny because you've mentioned this in the past where you've said you've always been a bit of a loner and you'll never fucking ever ask anyone else for help.
Yeah, just too independent.
But I think your accident has highlighted the fact, well, shit, maybe it's not a bad thing if I ask people for help or depend on people. So how has that sort of changed your mentality?
The accident has changed me a lot. I'll never lose that independence.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's just you've had to change.
Yes.
There's no time to change. I had to just literally change overnight.
Yep.
To the fact that I don't have any money. I can't go to a shopping centre and walk around and get some lunch and things that I used to do. And go and buy a pair of shoes or a pair of jeans and just things that normal people sort of do. I'd been stuck at home.
Yeah.
Going to appointments and so it's made me appreciate even more the fact that I'm alive and
all the simple stuff.
Just simple things.
Yeah.
Just sleeping. You know what I mean? Just all the little things that you take for granted. I've actually started to.
And it seems to be a very Western thing where people, and I don't know what it is if people don't travel or, because I know for me being in the army, travelling to PNG, being to a few different places, you see how fucking good we have it in this country. Even a lot of Western countries.
I've realised that.
And when I took the kids over to Vanuatu, they came home and it took about 6 months before it wore off of how fucking lucky they were. And
it's easy to go back into that, isn't it?
Very much so. Very much
we've got video games, or we've got bikes, or kayaks, or
running water. Yeah,
exactly.
Or people that have never had the experience.
Yeah.
Someone's just gotten straight out of school, gone to uni, gone a cushy job,
Yep.
and this is where I get my back up a bit because people don't challenge themselves with enough adversity through life, and that's where you come back. You said karate's hard, so no one fucking does it.
And that's what's helped me through this thing because being able to look at the bigger picture, we will get through it. The claim will end. The case will end. All of that bullshit that we're going through at the moment of specialists, Pilates, all that rubbish, and it will end. So you just got to look through it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now not being able to go and have some KFC whenever I want, I've learnt to appreciate water.
You're doing yourself a favour anyway.
It's forced improvement kind of thing where I've just gone, wow, this water tastes awesome.
Yeah.
And not have Pepsi once or twice a week. I've actually just all I've had's water.
Yeah, okay.
And I like it.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll come back to the adversity thing because I want to talk about that a bit more. But your clothing label, let's branch out into that. You're massively passionate about that. It's one of the first things I sort of got out of you after got over that martial arts hurdle and talked about that. Where did that, paint the picture for me for that. How did that come about? How did it start?
I've always wanted to do it. When I was a nurse at a nursing home, I called it a wardsman, but they called it a nurse. I was reading books and stuff on how it started, Nike and things like that.
Yep.
And I think it was Champion and Filler at the day, which was the two labels I sort of liked. I don't know what it is. It's not that I want to fucking look like a king or anything. I just like apparel.
Yes, okay.
Always have, and that's why I understand the whole thing about the rashies and the gi with the sponsors. It's like, it looks cool.
Okay.
So, it was always something in my mind, and
At sort of what age, Rob?
I reckon, early 20s.
Okay.
That's when it first.
The bug was there?
Yeah, because I've always thought, well, he's doing it, why can't I?
Yes.
In anything. Whether it's a clothing or karate or being a movie star or even, I used to, guitars. That's another hobby. Anyway, so it's even music. I've written and recorded my own music.
Yes.
But I've always come up against people who've gone, you can't do that.
Just resistance.
And it was always with the apparel. I've gone, I'd love to start a label. Where can I start? And people go, you can't do that. And I've gone, yeah, okay, you're right. I'll go back to work. So
yeah, okay.
Then a couple of years later, the bug kind of, I've seen something and gone, fuck, I like that. Oh, hang on, I could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think of this? You can't do that. Oh, okay, no worries. I'll go back to work. Just that constant cycle.
Yep.
And that when the internet came in, I went, fuck yeah.
Massive game changer. Yeah.
Massive. And that's why I think a lot of people think social media and internet is a bad thing. But, over the past...
But on that comment, could you imagine the world if the internet was suddenly shut down overnight? It'd be fucked.
Oh, you'd
It'd
put
go
a lot
shit.
of fucking people out of business.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can remember over the last 5 years at work, I used to sit in my lunch breaks and be on my phone. And I wasn't looking at Facebook, Instagram. I was actually looking at website clothing labels.
Yes.
Everything from Champion, Gucci, everything. I was just looking at, how the fuck do they do it?
Okay.
And then I started thinking, well, fuck it, I'm just going to email some people.
Yep.
And then one day, about 5 Christmases ago, I bought a few shirts from Iron Bunny.
Okay.
And they're in America. And this is Christmas Day. I'm sitting at my parents' place and I got an email. Just thought I'd reach out. I noticed you, it was on Facebook Messenger. I noticed you bought some stuff and I've just found your profile. I just wanted to reach out and say thanks for buying our stuff. You're the first one in Australia. And I went, oh, fuck, I thought you were worldwide,
Yeah.
And then I went, this is the fucking opportunity. So I wrote straight back. And I said, have you got anyone in Australia? No. So he gave me all his contacts. He gave me every single contact that he had that makes apparel. And he said, you ask them what you want for your market.
Yep.
And I went, yeah. Then all of a sudden they started sending stuff that was too thick for our climate.
Okay.
And it was summer and I went, no, I can't sell this. So I wasted, I reckon, about 10 grand.
So you were a distributor at that time for Iron Bunny?
Yes.
Okay.
All official,
Yep.
they all knew about it. They were helping me and then it's not that it was just the product was bad.
Yes.
Some of it was a bad fit, and heavy. And I thought, that's when I went, you know what?
Not built for Australia.
No, I can do better.
Yep.
It's not that I can, you know what I mean? Not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I can do fucking better than this.
Yes.
So that's when I started, and I thanked him, and I said, well, I can't do this. I love it, and I'm going to keep buying it. I love what you're doing. I'm really into it, but it's not working here.
Yeah.
And that's where I asked him, can I still use some of his contacts? He said, yep, no problem. And from there, I thought, oh, fuck, this is how you do it. And I've just branched out and emailed people at whether running labels or running manufacturing companies. And sometimes they didn't reply. It was 3 years of
back
nothing.
And forth, yeah.
A lot of nothing. A lot of staying up till 11, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have to get up at 4:30 to work. So I understand that whole entrepreneur thing about staying up late, getting up early.
Yes.
Because I did it, and I'd work every lunch break. I'd get on my phone again and send about 20 emails. And I had one guy come over once, and he said, "You're up to something." Because I'd sit on my own going like this. Oh, fuck, it's time to go back. And he'd come up and said, "You're up to something," and I know it. The only time in that whole time that someone even noticed.
Yeah.
And I was up to something. I was making a lot of contacts. And then, I started my own thing. I'm still making mistakes.
Yeah.
But
that's how you learn though, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to fail. You just got to keep failing and then you learn from it. And I reckon now I've probably, just a ballpark figure, I reckon is probably about 25 grand I've wasted on this. That's in registering businesses, trademarking, apparel, wasted apparel, shit that comes back in a box you've paid $1,000 for, and the printing's in the wrong spot, upside down, not what you wanted or didn't turn up. Yeah, I've been through all that, and it never put me off. I fucking threw the box off the balcony a couple of times and off my unit balcony onto the ground. Yeah, and it's like fuck, and I did yell out, but it just went. Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna get back on the internet. Yep, and. I took him down to Lifeline at the Iron Bunny stuff and stuff that I didn't if printing was in the wrong, I just took it to Lifeline.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
So someone's out there with your gear
yeah.
somewhere.
But you know, I didn't worry too much about that. I just move on. Again, there's that mentality of fuck it, don't dwell on it, move forward. You can't do anything about it. What am I going to do? Get on a plane and go and
exactly.
strangle them?
Yeah.
Doesn't work. You know.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So just left it, and it just kept. I'm on a roll now, and now the funny thing is, there's very few people in Australia that like it, and it kind of hurt me at first, even friends, which I'll get to in a minute.
Yeah,
not many people, and that's fine. And I've always learned from that, and I thought, fuck, how can I improve it? And ASN, who's the supplement line, they wanted to put it in their whole thing.
Yep.
And I was the one that said, no, I can do better than this. I actually pulled out of it. And I just kept working on it. I improved the logo. I've got it to what it is now.
So when you say people didn't like it, Rob, specifically what didn't they like?
The logo itself, Rammfitt. It probably, the designs I was putting out, they're probably still shit. I don't know. But
right, okay.
I've got it to a point now.
So in terms of the clothing, the material, everything used themselves, there was no problems with that?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no problem because it's manufactured in the same place that Under Armour and Champion and what was the other one? Adidas.
Okay.
Some of it's, manufactured in the same company.
Yeah.
Same factory. So there's no difference.
Yes.
So it's not the quality.
Yeah.
It's what I'm doing wrong. Again, it comes back to it's me.
Yep.
What have I got to do to fix it?
Yep.
And something's shit. And it probably still is shit. But the thing now is it's not getting noticed here in Australia. It's getting noticed in America and Europe, which is the weirdest thing because I get a lot of like Ukraine. What was one I saw one day? It was the Ukraine, these weird countries.
Yep.
Ukraine, Scotland, and
Kazakhstan
or something like that. Yeah, Borat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like shit. And then and I get a lot of people from Canada and America messaging me on social media or emailing saying, "Man, can I be a rep?" And I go, "You can be, but I've got nothing for you to rep. There's nothing. I'm in the middle of building it." So I haven't gone down that road of what is it that Americans like about it.
Yes.
I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying what is it because they're gravitating to it.
Yes.
All the attention's coming from over there.
And they're obviously only finding that from social media?
Yeah. Which it's not how you sell, but it's how you get out there.
Yes.
And Google. But yeah, the social media thing, and I'm fucking hopeless at it because I'm constantly putting posts up.
Yep.
But a lot of the time I go, fuck that shit. How can I, I'm going to leave it up, but I've got to improve. I've got to fucking get better. And I check out.
You're obviously on Instagram as well, smashing it that way.
Groups. I learn stuff from webinars.
Yeah.
I'm always busy with that. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
And now I'm up to a point where all I need is the cash injection.
Yes, okay.
And it will go American, if not, it's got the capability of going global.
If it goes America, it goes global, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it will. It will. It's because I'm very, very fussy. I want to make something I would wear.
Yeah, okay.
But that's not always good enough. You've got to hit a target market.
Yeah. Which
I've got that sorted as well. Everything is sorted. Now I just have to inject the cash.
Yeah.
And that's the frustrating part because I don't have a job. Because of my injury.
Yeah.
So again, it's frustrating in other ways. I've got to endure this.
Yep. Going back to the name, Rammfitt, how did you get that?
I just went, well, it's my star sign.
Okay.
Because I'm an Aries.
Yes.
And they're also tenacious and determined and don't back down from anything.
Yep.
I thought, well, the ram's a good symbol for that because it's not only me that use it. Obviously, Dodge. There's a military
unit,
in Australia that actually use the ram as their mascot.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that use it. Los Angeles Rams, for another example.
Yep.
So it's a symbol of strength somewhere.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, fuck it, why not? So I went on one of the graphic design sites that they can make you a logo.
Yep.
And they kept sending back shit, and I was like, fuck, that's not what I want.
Yep.
And then I went, fuck it, I'll go to Iron Bunny's, the guy who made the Iron Bunny logo, because I knew him.
Yep.
What can you do? He said, yeah, okay. A couple of days later, sent it, and I went, yep, that's what I want. But I knew there was something missing.
Okay.
And then I went through another contact I found in America. I said, what can you put to this? And that's when he put the wreath around it.
Okay.
And I went, fuck, there it is.
So did you know the name of it by then?
Yeah, I knew it before then.
So it was Rammfitt?
Yeah.
So where's the fit come from?
Just fitness in terms of body and mind.
Okay.
So mindset, yeah.
Yep.
Instead of Ram mindset, it was just Rammfitt.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and that's also what ASN said that was catchy.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it for that. I just went.
So did they approach you?
No, I went to them. I went to a lot of stores around Brisbane.
Yep.
There were independent supplement stores, and then the last one was ASN at Chermside, and the guy went, "Fuck, there's something about this," and he put me in touch with head office. It was on the Gold. I can't think it was on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So yeah, had phone meetings. Nothing was face to face, and then there was like, "Can you send X amount of stock to us, and we'll see what we can do?" And I said, "Nah, I can do better than this."
Yeah. Okay.
The logo's fucked. It's the quality's there.
Yeah.
But that's not what sells apparel.
Yes.
It's the story.
Yes.
And how it makes you feel. So, and you can relate to it.
Yeah.
And I just withdrew. Just fuck it.
Yeah.
I've got to do better than this.
Nice. So you've explained some of the biggest challenges in the past.
Yep.
Outside of the massive cash injection, what are the big challenges coming ahead?
Finding people who can. It's not about finding people famous. It's about finding people who live the lifestyle.
Yes.
And through my journey, I've not met any of these face to face, but I've had phone conversations and a lot of emails and messaging. But I've kind of found a couple of people.
Yes.
That more than a couple, but they live the lifestyle.
Yep.
And some of them do have massive followings on social media, and some don't. But it's not about people won't follow you because you've got a massive following.
Yes.
They will follow you because they are drawn to what you represent and how you can make them feel.
Yeah, what you stand for.
Yeah. So they will gravitate towards that. So it's not about finding people with 1 million followers. It's about finding people who every minute of every day live their lifestyle of what they're doing, which is what I'm trying to represent too. So
Yes.
like-minded. And luckily, the way it's panned out, everyone in Australia that I've approached ignored me. Every single one of them. And I could name some big names here.
Yeah.
I could name some people that probably would deny it, but it's the truth. Every single one of them.
They're probably the same people that don't listen to this shitty podcast.
Yeah. But you don't worry about those sort of people.
Yeah.
I just went, for ages I went, fuck, what's wrong?
Isn't it funny? And then it could be 12 months, 12 years. It'll come back around full circle.
It will.
Oh, Rob, we wouldn't mind wearing some of your clothes.
And a little bit of that drives me as well, because I'm going to fucking make you regret that.
Yeah.
But there's people in America that I started to get in touch with that I found out now that have come from nothing.
Okay.
And have built something big.
Yep.
And they understand my hustle.
Yes. And your biggest driving factor behind all of Rammfitt is apparel for the underdog. Explain that to me. Where does that come from?
It just appeared. My fiancée Jackie had a look at what I was doing, and she's great with all this sort of stuff, and she said, it's too confusing. You've got lots of different sort of posts, and I know what your message is, but people don't.
Right. And
I was like, oh, okay. It sort of struggled with that for a couple of days, and then she just came out and said it's the underdog. Yeah. And I went, fuck, it was right in front of me the whole time. Yeah. And we all feel like, we all resonate with the underdog status, and, we've all felt like that. A lot, some of us more than others, but it's something that resonates with everybody. Yes. And a lot of brands these days, and I don't care if I'm saying this and people hear this, but they don't have a story. If you check it out on social media, a lot of people will go premium quality apparel for the Australian market. Whatever. Or premium quality apparel. Yeah. Premium lifestyle apparel. It's not enough. Yeah. It's not enough because people, what does that mean? Yeah. It's not enough to sell anything. You've got to have a story. Yes. And so the underdog is the story. Yep. So it's now my biggest challenge is finding, I don't want people who are spoon-fed their whole life with money and then built something. That's not it. That's congratulations, but you've never endured anything. Yes. So I'm trying to find people, and I've hit people who are come across like that, but they're actually big babies. Yeah. But I've found people now who have come from the Bronx, who have come from streets of Puerto Rico, shit upbringings, just shit, and now they're boxing world champions and stuff like that. And you think that's it. Yeah, you come from nothing and you've grabbed everything. Yeah, you've just grabbed it and ran with it. And went, fuck it, I'm going to do this. Yeah, and no one believed in you. No one followed you. Everyone laughed. And kind of like what I went through. And that's what they're going through. And that's why the people that I've approached, it makes sense now in Australia, they've endured shit. Yes. They must have, because they don't understand me. Yeah. Where the people that I'm gravitating to, I've discovered they've had that same mindset in growing up. They've come from nothing. Yes. They've come from a humble background of just a normal family, and mum and dad have worked overtime, that whole struggle street thing. Yep. And we're the same. That's why.
Isn't it funny that it comes back to that Western approach, especially? We don't know how good we've got it.
Yeah. And I've never travelled overseas for a lot of reasons, but I'm finding that even on the internet and email and phone calls, I'm finding that we are such an up ourselves kind of mindset sometimes.
We have a very high standard of living as well in comparison to the rest of the world.
But when I've approached people to help me, not be an ambassador, but just, mate, can you wear this hat? I'll pay you, but can you wear the hat? No. Not even an email back. It's gone, who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah, yeah. I respect you enough to ask you, number one. Yes. And you've not replied. Yeah. That's kind of weird.
Just, the height of rudeness as well.
Yeah, I've had people, I've got a young guy in Illinois in America who messaged me and said, can you help me with a clothing label? I went, fuck yeah. And it kind of made he messages me all the time. Yep. I'm kind of mentoring him, but I'm not a mentor. I'm just helping him out, you know? So, yeah, man, it's... They're the challenges of getting people who understand you and what you're trying to achieve. And the thing is that people that I approach don't understand is when this takes off, I'm a loyal as they come. Yes. I'm absolutely as loyal as they come, and I will not forget people that helped me when I had nothing. Yeah. So that's the challenge.
Spinning it back to karate. The future of the dojo, you've mentioned how hard it is in this day and age with MMA, BJJ, whatever, how Kyokushin isn't at the top. Why, well, in your mind, perfect world, money wasn't an issue, anything like that, where would your dojo be? What would it be?
If I had money okay.
If money wasn't an issue.
Okay. So this is the thing that the apparel side of things has helped me with. Yes. To stand out, you can't be... If you want to build something, you have to be different from the rest. So I actually like the fact that there's 100 MMA dojos or gyms around my area, because what I'm doing is different. And the bonus of that is it's strong. It's a real art form that... it's not me. It's Oyama. It's the All Japan and World Tournaments that happened. It's the Matsuis. It's the Kenji Midoris. Yes. All those champions that have built it. So... It's different from the rest, and I've only just now realised that. So that's where I'm now starting to, only just like even today, I'm starting to turn my attention to embracing that we're different and that we stand out, because that will bring people. But we'll also have to target a specific group of people. Yes, I'm not going to target people that follow Conor McGregor. Mm-hmm. They'll look at us and go, fucking pajamas. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying it's the wrong market. Yes. So I've found that market. I've found who they are, where they are. I have no money. So I've just have to try and rely on things like, what do you call it? Reviews, recommendations, word of mouth.
People sharing your posts.
Just old school stuff that was around before the internet. And again, to stand out, you do something different. Yep. And yeah, that's where I just have to focus on what I've got, not what I don't have. So just try and be different. Yeah. I think we'll stand out. It does, because we're different. Yes. We're not an MMA, we're not UFC, we're not kickboxing. Yeah. We're not Muay Thai, we're Kyokushin, which is like one of 2 or 3 dojos in southeast Queensland. Brisbane and sort of north, up the sunny coast way. We're one of 3 or whatever, so. Yeah.
Your preference, this is probably the last question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you more, and I think I know what you're going to answer with straight away, if I'm going to ask anyway. Do you prefer Kihon, Kata, or Kumite?
Good question.
Obviously, there's different days where you have, fuck that. And
I think growing older and realising that I can't with my injuries, yeah, it's definitely Keon and Carter. But I always look at people who are gifted and young enough, you know, and no injuries. Yeah, I love all of them.
Yes.
But I think the fact that I'm evolving and getting older,
yes.
you kind of look at the deeper meaning of karate and more tradition
yes.
and more of the, what are we really doing here?
Yeah. What's the meaning behind it?
There's more to it than kicking. And that's
yes.
what a lot of people don't get about Kyokushin. It's not about fighting, because it's an art. It's
yes.
not one thing. There's two different sides to it.
Yes.
Yes, it's renowned for fighting because it's all about building strength in mind and body. But there's also the technical aspect and the aspects of it, and the basics and the bunkai of kata.
Very much so.
So, yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because when I first looked you up last year to get back into Kyokushin, I was talking to a few friends about it, and they're like, fucking Kyokushin, like, you're nearly fucking 40 and you're going to get back into that? Like, that's a fucking young man's game.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they are right in a degree that
yes.
if you want to follow that kumite relentlessly, then yes, that is a young man's game.
You can still teach it. You can still
100%.
teach drills and
yes.
strategy.
Yes.
Even as an old, 80, 90-year-old man, you can still do it.
Yes. And funnily enough, when I trained originally, my instructor was very partial to kumite because he was obviously a younger guy.
Yep.
But now, same thing, because of injuries, age, I'm certainly starting to turn that corner and go, oh yeah, okay, let's get stuck into these cutters. Let's rip these cutters apart.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And I've watched people go from just a fighter
yes.
to go, oh, what's
technician.
that?
Why are we hitting this way?
Yeah. They do. It's all like a bit of curiosity and age and maturity.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd like to think that at 45 I'm starting to become, a little bit mature, but but definitely, yeah, you sort of look at the deeper meaning behind things.
Yeah.
Everything, not just karate, but
yeah. Going ahead for you, your personal goals in martial arts, we'll do that first, then your goals with your clothing label. What are they?
I don't have any personal goals. Like I said, gradings, I'm not interested in,
Yep.
I'm not going to go anywhere, but gradings to be a 4th, 5th, 6th dan aren't my goals. I don't even think about it. I genuinely want to help people.
Yes.
And that's why I started doing the classes for the autistic kids.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy helping people and teaching. I enjoy it.
Yes.
So the goal is to, I'd love to build our kids' classes, actually. I'd love to help kids who, because I don't know my biological father and all that sort of stuff. So I've grown up, my stepfather and I didn't agree, and we didn't get along, and a lot of shit happened.
Yep.
And I want to help kids that maybe have come up through a broken home or feeling like they don't have anything that contribute.
Yes.
I want to help. I think I want to help kids more. So I want the kids class to grow, and if that means reaching out to adults as well, then yeah, that's the goal, is to help people and reach out. The money, I didn't give a fuck about it, honestly. It's about, because it just doesn't. I've said it before.
Isn't it funny what you've said before there, helping those people, helping the underdogs?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what it sort of goes back to.
And again, I didn't realise that, but that's who I am. I'm all about justice. I'm all about social justice. And if someone's been rorted or railroaded, I'm the fucking first one to stand
stick your hand up and say, hey, what's going on?
I'm standing with this guy.
Yeah.
Because it's unfair.
Yeah.
And I've been like that everywhere. And it's got me in and out of trouble.
Yeah.
But it's who I am. And so it's with the karate, that's what I want to do. I want to just help people. And I know that attracts people who are damaged, and that's fine. But I was damaged, and I like to think that
we're all damaged in some way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because a lot of people have said, "Oh, you're only going to attract damaged people," but that's fine. Maybe that's what I need to do in this life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's and if it made me $1 million, I'd only put it back into. I'll build a bigger dojo anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's personal goals is just to reach out and help Kima too. I want to, because it's a good, strong organisation that have a lot of knowledge. It stands apart. So I want to get it out there.
Yes. And in terms of the goals for Rammfitt, obviously aside from world global domination, what's there? Like outside of, you've got your clothing, you have hinted at different areas you want to tap into as well?
Yeah, I just want to. I honestly don't know what it is inside me.
Okay.
But it's definitely when I was playing music and I was playing guitar and writing stuff with a couple of guys, I love creating.
Yes.
I love being creative, and I love when I create something like a song or clothing. I thought, fuck it, that's a start. I've started. I can do better than this. So it's a constant thing of achieving, I guess, and bettering myself and getting better with the clothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to be big,
yeah.
but it's not the money,
yes.
and it's definitely not the fame.
Yes.
If that comes with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't drive me. It's the fact I love creating something. And I'd love to create something that people go, fuck, that's helped me, or it's changed my life.
Do they just resonate with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact, it's strange because it's a contradiction. I love it resonating with people.
Yes.
But when I get emails or someone says, fuck, that it's not bad, I go, oh, fuck. I kind of get a bit embarrassed. Weird, isn't it?
Behind your screen.
Yeah, exactly. on Skype, I kind of get embarrassed. But that's me. I just want to create, and I want to, in a weird way, achieve something. But I know if I achieved it, I'll still go, I haven't done it.
Yeah. What's the next thing? Yeah.
I just want to...
What's the next line of shirts for next summer? Let's get them out. Yeah.
I just like being creative. And Jackie gets frustrated with because a lot of times I'm on my phone or on my computer and it's 8 o'clock at night and I've almost got something.
Yep.
And she understands, but she'll get frustrated. I say, hang on a second, I'm nearly there. And she'll understand.
Yeah.
It's just that creative thing I've got.
Yeah, okay.
And it'll
Do you
never
have
stop.
like notebooks, jot pads down everywhere?
Shitloads of them.
Yeah.
And my desk is a mess. And
like the mad scientist at night.
But I know if I want to know the password for MailChimp,
yep,
it's on that bit of paper, 4 pieces down under the red book. That's where it is.
Folded on that sticky note.
And but yet Jackie has gone in the past and cleaned up my desk.
Disaster.
I was like, oh fuck! Now I can't find a thing. But she operates like that, and we've lovingly had discussions that
your desk, her desk.
I operate just differently. I like to be neat and tidy, but my desk and my brain is a fucking mess.
Scatterbrain.
Yeah. So it's that's the way it is. It's just stuff's everywhere.
In terms of your clothing now, is there an online store people can go and buy it now?
Yeah, there's rammfitsupply.com.
Yep.
We're on social media at Official Underdog Apparel.
Yes.
And I had a heap of shit on there, but as I said before, I went, fuck, that's hopeless. That's
your
bad.
Self-critical notes.
That is terrible. And I took it off. I've got a whole pile of stuff I use for rags at the moment. But I'm starting off with the hats.
Yes.
Because I've got a drop shipper, one of my old suppliers who, for some reason, trusts me. He's manufacturing a line of hats for me.
Okay.
As we speak, and they'll be ready in a few weeks, and then people at order, they'll be sent out from overseas.
These are the official snapback hats with the bullshit detectors on top of them.
That's the one, yeah. And the logo that attracts success and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Influences people. Yeah, that one.
No, they're good.
They can... Yeah, it's coming. It's just very frustrating that, as I said, I've had no job and no money.
Circumstances, the accident and everything.
I've used that time to do the groundwork and do the behind-the-scenes stuff and try and manipulate people into trusting me. Yeah. Because I am trustworthy,
So in terms of designs, Rob, you've got your hats. What else is on the back burner ready to go?
I've got everything from water bottles, bags. I love carbon fibre, money clips and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm a real gadget man. Yeah. I like... Yeah, there'll be a lot of carbon fibre accessories, keychains, key rings, all that sort of thing. Are
the Rammfitt cufflinks coming?
Yes. Yeah. Mate, it's endless because I'm always finding stuff and suppliers are always saying, what do you think of this? And so there's a tactical side too that I want to concentrate on. So when I say tactical, it's just things like weighted vests, martial arts equipment will be under that. Mm-hmm. I might have to, if a marketer says it's got to change, it will, but... there'll be a tactical / martial arts sort of side. I don't think I'll branch out into gi and BJJ uniforms. Okay. I think that's...
been done to death.
Well, I just don't want to go down that path, but definitely just apparel, bags, hats.
And when you say tactical, will you tap into any military and law enforcement sort of gear?
Maybe, yeah, because I like that mindset. As I said, I gravitate to people like that. Maybe if I can, again, get someone who would be in that scene that lives a lifestyle and believes in what I'm doing, you never know. But at the moment, it's tactical, but that term is used very loosely.
Yeah, okay.
It's the style of what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So the weighted vests come out looking a bit like a bulletproof sort of vest, and they're functional. They work.
Yes.
They're well made, but that alone doesn't sell. So I have to find people in the lifestyle. And I think the carbon fibre side of things may be under that banner, tactical, but we'll see. We'll just see what works and what doesn't. It's constant
marketing,
trial and error, and that doesn't
research,
work.
Development, absolutely.
And that's the fun part of it.
Yeah. Nearly 2 hours, mate.
That's good.
Yeah. Anything else to plug?
No, not really. Just, no. Nothing. I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah, I'll be sure in the notes when I edit it, I'll put all your @s and web pages and everything up.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I do have a gift for you. I just didn't bring it up. I got in the car and went, fuck. Yeah, I'll bring it on Tuesday. You'll see.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, too easy.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks.